Hey guys, welcome back. So we are done with our Pages plugin here, which works really well. But then the question is, how do you tie this in into the whole website? So let's say, for example, this is our website, right? And it's got a menu here, and I don't have pages yet. So I know I have the About Us page, which is here that I created, right? About Us and Contact Us, for example. All right, so let me try and create a new page here. Let's say this one is for contact. So say Contact Us, like that. We don't need to always write a description and keywords, but you could put those. So maybe we have a PO box here. John and Associates. Hopefully that's how those things are spelled. PO box, I don't know who uses those anymore. And let's put a city and a country here. All right, great. So you can put a phone number there as well. Something like that. So this is like Contact Us page. Yes, great. So let me save that. Great. And if I click to view it, this is what I see. So this is what I was talking about, where you see on a Contact Us page, it doesn't make sense to have an image like this, but it may make sense if there's an appropriate image. But certain times you don't want the featured image to show here. Maybe you want the featured image to show on the menu if you want, but not on the page itself. So we need to have those options as well. So, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Here I'm talking about how do we link to these pages. So you see on the home page, I don't see the links here. So all I need to do is go to my menu and actually add some menu items here. So I'm going to add Contact Us, like that, okay, and put the slug there, which is just Contact Us, like so. What permission do you want to allow? For now, let's leave out permissions. It doesn't have a parent because it's the top link. It's not a mega menu, and it is active. So let's save that. Okay, great. So let's go back. Let's do the same for the what's this? About Us. So let's do About Us. That's what we really need to do. Save. So now if I go back to my menu thingy, I have two menus here. That's great. Now if I go back to my main website, now you see those guys over here, and if I click, it actually goes to those pages, as you can see. So that's how you make pages on your website using the Pages plugin. And just like that, if your website is a static website where you're not putting dynamic posts, this actually works pretty well. You have home, Contact Us, About Us, and that is actually done. So we have the order here, of course, which you can change. If I click edit, I can order these as I need them to be. By changing these numbers, you determine which of them come first in the order here. So maybe you want the About Us to be earlier. Let me try 9 and save. So let me go back here. And if I come back here, maybe About Us will move to the beginning. Let's see if that will work, and it works. So there we go. We start with home, About Us, and Contact Us, and these for your profile. Okay, cool. So things are working as intended. Now let's put our Wysiwyg editor so that we can actually have this work much better. These can be better designed. So where we want to put our Wysiwyg editor is still in the Pages plugin, right? So I'm going to go to, let's say when we are adding here. So the add. Now I want this to look like this summer note text editor over here. So it says get started here. So let me go to the get started page. Let me see if there is good information here. Yeah, guys, it's always good to donate to these people that are giving free stuff, so donate to these guys, you know. Alright, so let's go to the get started page, and then it says download compiled version. That's what we want. We don't want compiling this stuff ourselves, so I'm gonna click download. My internet isn't the best, so it fails a couple of times. I have to redo the actually this is the fault of my router. It doesn't work well when you use Wi-Fi. It requires a wired connection for some reason. So I'm gonna cut that from the folder where it has gone to the downloads folder. So if I come back to my project, I'm going to go right click and say open folder in the project, and I'm going to paste that. Actually, let me just go directly to the plugin. So because that's, I want to put this in the plugin that's using it, and that's basic pages. And where do I put this? Boom, 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 boom. Usually, you know, when you bring in classes and stuff, you can put in models. And by the way, someone suggested we use what's this, composer, to extend the capacity of the framework. That way you can bring in some frameworks and stuff, not frameworks, what do you call, libraries and stuff. Composer is actually multi-purpose. You can use it here if you want. So I'm going to show you how to add composer to this if you want to, and add extended functionality from classes that other people created already. For example, if you want to be exporting to PDF, for example, you may need to add an external library, because having to write that from scratch would take you a long time and you may not even get it right. So sometimes it's good to add extra functionality from code that's already existing. In any case, here, because we can access the plugin directory directly, so we can put folders in any way we want. You can organize these as you wish. So let me do paste over here. So there is my summer.zip. I like to leave the zip file intact just in case I make a mistake. I can always unzip things later. So here what I'll do is I'm going to extract to, I'm not sure whether I should say here or summer.8, but let's try here, because sometimes you find there's an extra folder in there. My bad, you know, just when I thought I had this in the bag. So let me undo that, which will delete all the files, or maybe not. So yeah, that was my mistake, you know. Don't do what I did. Oh, what did I do? Let me redo, because it seems it deleted the zip file, which is something I really need. So let me delete the rest of this. You know, so lesson learned, guys. It's better to wait. Did it bring in more folders? Yeah, what are these folders? Crap. Yeah, so this font and line, you know, lesson learned. Don't do what I did, folks, boys and girls. So let's right click here and say extract to the folder. It's always just safer to do that. Whether there's an extra folder in there or not doesn't really matter. Turns out there is none. So what I want to do is F2. You can leave the folder name as it is. It's fine, I guess. So what I really want is, normally what you should do is always just read the documentation, because it tells you what you're supposed to do. So in here it says installation, right? We require HTML5 doc type. That's fine. We already have that in our system. And these are the files to include. So this is really what I want. Now, Bootstrap, include jQuery, Bootstrap. Okay. It requires jQuery. or just jQuery if you use a light version of Samanot. Okay, include the following code. Okay, so if you're using the light version, you need jQuery. You know, I dislike using libraries, so this is a bit of a kick in the tummy, but that's okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do is include Samanot.js, and what style sheet is this? The mean.js. Oh, there's a JavaScript and a CSS file, and then we're supposed to include jQuery. What is this? Bootstrap. Okay, let's see what we can get away with. I don't want to include all of this stuff, so let me just copy that and let's go and have some fun with this. So what I'll do is, we are in the pages thingy here, so obviously we go to the view file, and this is the add section, right? So let's go down to the bottom where we have script tags. I think let's put these guys right at the end to make sure that even though they don't work, we don't disturb the basic functionality of the page. So I am going to put another script tag, because you can put as many of these as you want, and paste in there like so. Where have I ended? Okay, there we go. So we are in the script tag here. Include libraries, jQuery, and Bootstrap. So this is a comment. So let's remove that comment. Doesn't look very commenty like. Is it a comment? What is going on here? Oh yeah, these are not supposed to be inside script tags. Sorry guys, let me remove that. That's why this looks strange. Okay, so these are links to Samanot.js and whatever, and jQuery and Bootstrap. So we already have Bootstrap, so let's remove the Bootstrap links. But I don't know whether you need Bootstrap really, but if you need it, just put them there. Our system is already using that, so let's remove that. So all we have now is jQuery and the Samanot mean.css and mean.js. Okay, cool. Now, since we are not using the CDNs, we are using the ones that are right here. We need to link them to this folder right there. So let me find these particular files. So there's Samanot 8. There's a lot of files here, but you won't need many of them. Just let's use the light. I like this light.mean.js. This one, Samanot light, and then light.mean.css. So these are the two I want to use. So I will put light on both of these like so. Okay, that's step one. But then this link over here should be changed. So select both, and actually let me not deal with the dist here. Let me go a step back up to there, because that looks kind of like the folder name. So what I want to do here is put the HTTP path of the plugin. So I'm going to do this. We have a function for that, which we created, and it's called plugin. There's plugin path like that, but there's also plugin HTTP path function like so. And then I'm not even sure. Okay, so let's put a quote there and then go all the way. Let me go like this. I'm using control to move faster. Okay, like so. And then put a single quote again and close that, and then close the PHP tag. Okay, so that path will, and then we add this to it. Now I have to make sure my folder name is exactly like this here. So I'm going to right click and say rename, just so I can grab the name. So copy that and escape from the renaming. And then I'll grab this Samanot part and paste like that. Okay, so from that folder, there's no dist folder in there. It's directly into the files. So like that, that's what it is. So hopefully I have grabbed those guys well. Now I don't know if we need jQuery, so the only way to find out is to try actually and load this and see if it works without jQuery, because I really want to get away with as much as possible. So I don't want to, yeah, but how do we connect to this thing? So let's go back to the get started page and let's see what we have here. So this is what we ought to do. There's a div you can put here and you give it an ID of summer note there. Okay. Now if you're using a form like we are doing, where we have a text area, still I guess we need to do the same thing. So let's put an ID of summer note here. I'm going to copy that. You don't have to use IDs. You can also use a class name if you want. It's just a way to grab the item from the page. So let's look for our text area. We should have just one text area on this page, and there it is. This is the page content. Very good. So instead of ID content here, we're going to have ID summer note. But we don't actually need to use summer note. Maybe our ID in this case had oops, what am I doing? I'm undoing too much. Okay, so what I will do instead, let me just go to classes. You see there's form control here. Let me turn that into a class instead. I'm gonna put it here because like I said, because I want to leave these as they are. Maybe the ID is doing something, I'm not sure on this page yet, but I don't want to disturb that and change it. So instead I'll just add an extra class called summerNote. We will just remember to swap whatever, because these guys are using an ID, so wherever they use an ID we use a class instead, and there it is. So here is the document. Oh, so this is why we need jQuery, right? Could I possibly change this from jQuery? The document.ready function is particularly necessary if you include JavaScript at the end of the thought. You don't say. Okay, so I think this is why we need jQuery, because this thing is trying, maybe the functions in here are running through jQuery. So unfortunately, guys, we have to download jQuery. Oh my god. Okay, so let's go down to where we have loaded our scripts. So we have to do this after the scripts are loaded. So let's put another script tag at the end here and then run that. And it's better to run this in the document ready function. So let's create a document ready function. Instead we'll do it with vanilla JavaScript. I like it that way better. Let's do window.load. You could do it like this and say window.onload like this is equal to, and then you put a function that will run when the window loads, like that, like this, and this is very valid. And then we can paste our content in there like so. But usually I like to create an event listener. It's much better than using the onload function, I have found. So let's add an event listener here and let's listen for the load function, for the load trigger, and let's put a function in there. So this is very similar to what we're doing. Let's put semicolon here and boom. So this and this are exactly the same. It's just that the event listener works better because you can put multiple. I've tried to put multiple of these onload is equal to function. It doesn't work because we are equating the onload to a single function. So we're saying this is equal to. So if I make another one, if for example I put two versions of this, then the onload becomes equal to this and not equal to this function. So this function will not run, but this one will. However, when you're using the add event listener like this, you can have as many as you want and they'll all run because you're just adding an event listener and it will run all of them once the event is hit. You're not really replacing it as equal to. So I'd rather you use this method than doing it like this. Okay, so that's better. So we say window.addEventListener load blah 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 and summerNote. Now here is the key, because the pound sign is for IDs. Now we want to use classes, so I'm going to say dot summer note like that. That's how we grab the item. Now I was tempted to actually change this to vanilla JavaScript instead of using jQuery, but I just thought maybe the summer note itself relies on jQuery internally to work. So if the code references jQuery, then changing this will be pointless. So instead, let's just get jQuery, right? So there we go. We say jQuery download on the internet. The beauty of the net, right? Everything you want at your fingertips. So download jQuery. Let's click on that. This is from jQuery.com. That's good. So here we're looking for the one we want. Download the compressed production jQuery, not the development. The production is what we want. So I'm just gonna say, now of course you have alternative methods, npm and this kind of nonsense, which I don't even touch. So I just like to put links to files the old-fashioned way. So I'm gonna click here the compressed version, which means the minified version, right? So I'm gonna Control A to copy everything on this page, copy, and then I'm going to make a file on my system. Where is this? Where is my mouse, guys? I have lost my mouse. It disappears the moment I get in here. Okay, since I've copied, I can do this. Alrighty then. So I want to put jQuery somewhere. Let's say maybe in the assets folder, right? That would be much better. So maybe I should have put summer note in there as well, because it's kind of like CSS and JavaScript, right? But no matter. This is fine. jQuery is a JavaScript file, so let me put it in there. Let's say new file in there and paste all the content. This is all really because it goes on it's minified. So if I save it, it will ask me the save name. So I want to use the original. So I'm just gonna copy from the last part, the file name from the browser, like so, and paste it there. So jQuery 3.7.1. That way at least you remember what version it is. So I'm gonna close that. Now we need to reference that file. So I'm gonna use exactly this path because that gives us the plugin path, and up to the file name somewhere here, and paste, right? So let's encapsulate the file name in there and close the PHP tag like so. Now this is really not the name. So this one is jQuery 371. So let's change that to a 7. .min.js. Okay, the rest is exactly the same. So cool. With all these modifications, we should now be able to see the changes. So let me refresh. Oh, nothing has happened. Oh no!